I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. 'Cause the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You build your fortress and I'll climb your walls. You got your armor, but I see your flaws. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Bigger they are, the harder they fall. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. All the people wanna go with desire, like the streaming with the fish in the ocean. Stay away, never come under fire. They will never ever show an emotion. I never dreamed of getting in the action. Life moves with all the surprises. I never dealt with chemical reaction. It comes down to this day. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. All the people wanna get in the circus, trying hard to keeping up with the Joneses. Everything is kind of trouble and purpose, and you're lying in
Yo!
What's up, everyone? Ooh. How you doing, Patrick?
Oh, man, I'm all right this morning. I'm all right.
Yeah.
A little sniffly, but I'm all right.
A little sniffly, yeah. We've been traveling. It's been
Yeah.
a little rough, but we're home now. It's
bit.
good. Yeah. Like, next week should be a light week. Nothing going on. Nothing at all.
Ha.
So welcome everyone to the live stream. Welcome to Saturday or Sunday if you're on the other side of the world. So glad you made it. We are getting kicked off this morning, and I am not like kicked off the stream. We're kicking it off. Yay! Like, yep, we're getting booted. It's all good. Real quick, we always like to start out. I'm trying to find my window here. We like starting off learning if there's anyone new here in the stream. So if you're new to live stream or GynaCube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Big shout out to the members of GynaCube. You help us do what we do here on the channel. Very much appreciated. So if you see folks with the green name or the GynaCube logo next to them, those are members of GynaCube. So thank you so much for that. Look at that. James Ward coming in with gifting 5 members. Wow. So Sheila, user 457, Hachi, Alex, and Jens. Welcome to being a new member. It's amazing. Thank you, James. Very much appreciated. So shout out to the members of GynaCube. Thank you so much for doing what you do here. If you want to learn more, check out the link up on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. Just a big thanks. Alex coming in with 5 memberships. Thank you, man. So new BI, none got a gift. Juan Anise, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and Van Lessing, welcome to being members of GynaCube. Bam. Love it. Amazing. Welcome, everyone. All right. So let's see who's new here. So we got where did it start? So we got Sarab is new. Bojay is new. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Gaston said next week's going to be amazing, or bananas. I agree. Yeah. There's a build soon. No one's mentioned it. Fred is new. Jeff's new. Let's see if anyone else, anyone mentioned in there new. Tim is new. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Welcome if you are new. Glad you made it. It is great to see you here. So with that, let's get into the rules real quick. Get your questions in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them queued up. 1 time is all you need. Please put Q: in front of it. And then she will get that into the queue. And 1 time is all you need. So please don't spam your question. If we have a 3-star roll here on GynaCube, and after 3 times of spanning it, either Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators will put you in a timeout, except for Patrick. He won't do it. He refuses. So, but please don't. 1 time's all you need. We don't always get to all of the questions, so come back next time and we'll try again. But we'll get through as many as we can. With that, I'm gonna kick off while everyone's getting their questions in. Matthew got one in first, not you, Matthias. Matthew. Don't be confused with that. So Matthew said, "I keep hearing that Microsoft Build is next week and will be insane amazing." At least that's what Patrick said. Is this just hype, or is Build really going to change the world of data forever? Should I attend on Tuesday? So thank you, Matthew. And with that, let me, I'm just going to play, I don't know if you saw it or not, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page, I'm going to play a video where Patrick phoned a friend. So let's take a look at that real quick. All right, ready, Patrick?
Yep.
Yo, what's up? I'm Adam.
And I'm Patrick.
All right, Patrick, I am excited. Build is coming up. Have you registered?
Why would I register for Build? That's a developer conference. I do Power BI. I do data.
Okay, but I heard we should register though. You didn't hear that?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to phone a friend. I know someone. Arun, why don't you tell us why people that do data, or Power BI specifically, should register for Build?
Hey folks, thank you for calling me. We've been hard at work for the last couple of years. There's something exciting we're cooking up. So if you're excited about Power BI, you're excited about Synapse, you're excited about Data Factory, you've got to be at Build. We have something major news to share. Got to check it out.
And Arun, you've got a link for us that people can go to register. Like, where do they go for this?
Yeah, it's right here on the screen. It's aka.ms/Trident News.
Amazing. And we'll have that in the description below for everyone to go do it. So definitely go check it out. We'll be there right alongside of you, and we're excited to see you at Build so you can hear all of the great news that's coming.
Awesome. Can't wait to see everybody there.
All right.
Everybody's commenting about our
I know we wore the same
shirts.
we wore the same shirts. Yeah. So definitely go check it out. I'll put a link in the chat. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of announcements. The link I have that should be going in the chat. There it is. And also the link from the video will take you to the same spot. That is the Power BI blog that has all the information about what's going to happen. So it's got a direct link to Amir and Arun's session. What just happened? Ugh. Lord.
Man, you are messing up everything.
I go traveling a lot and then like nothing works.
I mean, what happened to us?
I don't see it. There we go. So that'll take you to the blog post where you can register for the event. It'll take you to a Amir and Arun session. It also lists out all of the on-demand sessions. And yeah, dark mode for Gynacube. Oh my gosh. Also of note, there will be a YouTube event on Wednesday and Thursday of next week that starts at 9 a.m. Central. And that will be present on the Power BI YouTube channel, the Azure Synapse Analytics channel, and this channel, Gynacube. So all three of them, so you can pick which one you want to go participate in. Folks will be lined up in the chat answering questions and just being there with you and enjoying the excitement, everything. So definitely plan on attending, and it'll be great. So, all right. Let's go back to the queue. So thank you, Matthew, for that. That was good. Extra light mode for Power BI desktop. Spoilers. So yeah, it'll be.
Why has Patrick been talking about Synapse? Why has
I don't know.
Patrick been talking about Synapse stuff?
Maybe there's some Synapse news coming. Who knows? I mean, Arun said if you're following Power BI, Synapse, or Data Factory. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. Gaston, thanks for becoming a member. All right. Let's see here. There was a super chat from Dan. So let me go. So sorry, Dan, that it wasn't first. I went with Matthew because I wanted to get the build stuff out of the way. So let's go with Dan. So Dan said, yo, I'm following up from a couple weeks back, the use viewer credential flag with separate Azure AD with SQL Server database. Any updates in the investigation? Patrick, you had some conversation.
Still investigating. There's not much movement there. What we found that it's just not supported right now, and so I don't know what you're going through with support right now, Dan. But as far as we have, there's nothing. There's no movement. There's no change. It's just not supported. We'll keep pushing on this because it's interesting. I was telling Adam, this is interesting. I think it should work. But what I want to find out, and I was like, can we do a fitlet trace? Can we get a dump? Can we do something to figure out why is it not making it over to the SQL Server? Adam will go figure that part out. He said no. Sure. He said no. So
we'll just sprinkle some magic code on it and get it working.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So no update. I did change my shoes a lot, Paul. I did change them a lot last week. I did. Yeah.
Wait, last week?
This week. This week. God, we were in Redmond this week.
This week we were in Redmond, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, we've been all over. Not going anywhere for a while, so I'm happy about that.
No.
All right. Envy's got a Patrick request. Pat has a question for Pat. Man, I am I'm on my A game today. All right. I want to do a year-over-year calculation. Which way is better in performance? Using time intelligence functions like same period last year, or using flag column created in backend database? So
I honestly don't know what this. Go ahead.
wait, before you do
Don't
that,
you say it.
I'll say it depends.
God dang it.
Maybe.
It does. It does. It does. It depends on so many things. Are you importing? Are you using direct query?
Are you asking me?
Right? No, I'm just, that's, it depends. It depends on, are you importing? Are you doing direct query? Where's this flag on this back end? I don't know what this mythical flag
So I think
talk about.
I think my interpretation of that is that thinking they could maybe do some pre-aggregated like bit flag on something, but I'm like, I don't know how that would work for the year over year because that's a sliding window.
Yeah. And if you start doing that pre-aggregated, it kind of locks you into how you can filter and slice your data. So when you start pre-aggregating on the back end, it's going to be at the grain that you do that aggregation. So you need to think about that. Honestly, I would try it in DAX and see. I would try it both ways because I don't know what your data looks like. I don't know the shape of it. I don't know how much data you have. I don't know if you're using, you said, I think you just said import. I thought I saw that fly across the screen.
Import.
But yeah. Oh, it's a flag created to identify the last period. But you have to query for it.
Lance said prior
you
year.
have to query for that. So I would have to test it on your model. Go ahead.
You could do that with, either Power Query or if you have a view or something that does that. I mean, that's not impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. I always use the time intelligence. I've never tried to do a year over year that way. Single scenario. That's right. That's what we're talking. That's it, Matthew. Right? It's less flexible. It's less flexible. So I would definitely try. I would go with DAX. But if you think it's better performance, try it out. Tinker with it. But I think you'll lose some of the flexibility.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
And Thomas said we have the new DAX Windows functions. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sheila, I was trying to avoid saying DAX patterns because we just always say stuff like that, but you're absolutely right. You can go to DAX patterns. They probably have a million ways to do that year over year calculation where they test all the performance of it. So it's...
Yes, I like what Chris said here is, a lot of times this also depends is because it depends on your data and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so, so Chris made the comment, easy enough to try DAX versus flag. Bake-off challenge and see. So look at the numbers, validate it, and go which one looks better from a performance standpoint. So go check that out. DAX Studio is a great tool to do that.
DAX patterns.
All right, sweet, good. Let's go with data is king. How many of you will be attending the Power Platform Conference in October? I'm trying to get my company to pay for some of us to attend. I don't know if folks in the chat know if they're going or not. I know for Patrick and I, we're not committed yet. We're working on it. We're hoping to go.
Where's Jason? Ask Jason.
Yeah, I don't know if Jason's still in the chat. He was hanging out. So Jason is working on it. So we'll figure it out. Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah. Once we know more, we'll definitely let folks know if we're going to be there.
It's Jason.
Yeah, and PASS. Yeah, so PASS Summit. We will be at PASS.
That's right. We have a pre-con at PASS Summit.
We have a pre-con at PASS Summit.
Got to, if you want to come learn some really cool things, you should come hang out with us at PASS Summit. We have a workshop on Tuesday. I forgot about that. They announced that this week.
Yes. Jason said. So for the attending Power Platform Conference, Jason said it depends. So that's technically the answer. Is it depends on if we get a session.
Okay. Technically, that is yeah.
Yep. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. Cool. Let's go to the next one. Boj, who is new. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. Global search non-function for What? Global search non-function for
It
over a month.
non-functions.
What does that mean? We are a premium SKU. Microsoft support team says by design, as it will only function what? Only functional what?
I think the global
is-
search is just broken.
Really? Why would that
I think
be
that's what he's saying. I mean, that's my guess.
Hang on. Let me look. Let me try. Let's go. Let's try it.
And my keyboard's
I mean, it's coming up with stuff when I'm searching, so
I'm not sure.
it's working. I don't know
Yeah,
what does that
keyboard's
mean
open.
by for guests. Oh well, okay. So a guest user coming into the portal, it doesn't work. Yeah, okay. I hadn't tried that before, but that makes somewhat sense if it doesn't know. Like if you're external to that tenant and you don't necessarily have permissions, things that could be problematic. So, yeah, okay, that's good to know. It'd be good to call that out in documentation if that's by design, though. So, yeah, learn something new every day. I didn't know that. So, and apparently it works because of a bug. So, and I don't know why that would be blocked from a guest user if it can just see what they have permissions to, but I'm sure if it's by design, I'm sure there's a reason for it. So, Chris says, I blame build. Oh, Jeff said that was working 4 weeks ago for guest users. That's interesting. Huh. All right. I may follow up on that just to find out why. That's interesting. And Jason says the new workspace look is not good. I'm sorry to hear that. Would be good to understand your thoughts on that. That'd be good. Pass that on. All right. Going next to Janice. I have a big data model in Power BI and all the big tables over 200K records that I set up range and set up settings for incremental refresh. 2 questions. I have set range and incremental refresh for all my major fact tables, and now if I publish, will it take incremental refresh into effect? Yes.
Yes.
If I need to do a
If you
full
configure.
refresh on ad hoc basis, how can I?
You need to either republish the model. That'll force a refresh. Couldn't say force. And so, or if you're using premium or premium per user, you can get the XMLA endpoint, and then you can connect with analysis services and run some scripts to refresh the entire table or the entire model or partitions in the table. Completely up to you.
Yeah. Yep. So one thing I would say with 200,000 rows, I'm curious, like, is there a need to use incremental refresh on that? Like, is it slow to the point where you're trying to just speed it up? Or like, what are the reasons for needing incremental refresh on 200,000 rows?
Are you saying 200,000 rows is not a lot of data?
No, I'm curious. Like, if we're going with that approach, there's bound to be a reason for it. So it could be like we're pulling from a source that's just slow, right? So it's not
Slow.
necessarily the number of rows. It's more about what's
Yeah.
the latency of the refresh and things of that nature. So
Are these big wide tables with lots of strings and
Yeah.
stuff in them? And it's just, so many questions.
Yeah,
So many
yeah.
questions.
that'd be interesting to know too, because I wouldn't expect with 200,000 rows that generally you shouldn't need incremental refresh for that. So there's probably some other
Yeah.
circumstances around that may be good to look
Yeah.
at. So for example, like if you're pulling, so the other thing to keep in mind is incremental refresh. If the source that you're going against doesn't support folding, incremental refresh won't work. So be aware of that. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because I was thinking of like, well, maybe you've got, what was that for?
Well, I mean, it's not that it won't support it. You just got to make it do some fancy things to get incremental refresh to work.
Yeah. So I was thinking.
Where's Alex Powers?
Yeah, he's in there. He's saying. Yeah. That was my point, Alex. Is how long is that full refresh taking that makes you feel you need incremental refresh? But like I was thinking, like if you're going against an API or something like that, could be prohibitively
Yeah.
slow on 200,000 records, where
Yeah.
you're like, look, I want to shave that down a little bit. So that could be a valid reason. So, there. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see any follow up on the scenario, so all right. Yeah, members, hold your questions. We'll get to that in Chatmaster C. I'll let you know when to submit those.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with hey.
I like that question.
Which one?
That one. That one just had.
Oh, because it was incremental refresh.
Hey, yeah.
All right. Are the reports in Microsoft's website data stories gallery safe to download? Is there any procedure to check if they don't contain anything malicious? So the data stories gallery, my understanding, so that's on the community site. People upload their own PBIX. I don't believe that those are verified at all. So that's kind of a use at your own risk, I would say. Unless someone in the chat knows more than I do on that, I don't believe they're verified. So just be mindful of that. So it's always good to know that going in. Yep. Good question though. Glad you're thinking about that too. That's important. So, all right. Cryos. Is there a way to make data bars on a matrix visual calculate based on the total of the column and not the largest value within the column?
Any way to make data bars on a matrix?
Calculate based on the total of the column. I mean, it's...
And not the largest value. I just haven't done much with these data bars.
I know. But it's going to be based on whatever the measure is, right? So, within the context of that row. So,
look and see.
Maybe, depending on the DAX measure that's being used for the data bar.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be based on.
Yeah. Yeah, as Chris is saying, like percent of total, maybe. But I mean, it's all from a DAX perspective. So if you can work that into your calculation, then yeah. So, isn't it based on the total by default?
I have to go use the data bars,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. I just haven't done much with the data bars.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when you set it up, you could get it to work, but I mean, you could control what the data bar is based on. But
Right.
I
Well, and that's why
what I'm
there's
saying. You can't.
like Power BI and Dubai said use percent of total of column when you set it up. Just looking real quick. Isn't there? Yeah. No, in the docs. I'm looking in the docs. Data bars. Yeah, so there's a setting there to apply it to a series. I don't see. But yeah, it should be based on the total, I would think. So. Yeah, Chris. That's all right. Show bars only. Yeah, so there's a minimum and maximum value for the data bar itself. So I don't see anything on the whole percent to total though. So yeah, I mean ultimately though it should be based on the measure though. So I would play around with those settings and see what you can get. Maybe that's something we could put in the backlog for a video on how to do that.
Yeah. I wrote it down. All right. I put it on a notepad.
Nice. I like that. So, yeah, Cryos is saying you can only do manual inputs. That's interesting. Yeah, I can't set the DAX measure for it. Thomas saying the percent of totals based on the values show values as greater than total. So maybe play around with that. That could be interesting. So, all right. Yeah, we'll have to play around with it. All right, RAM.
I'll take a look at it.
Yep. Do you need a gateway for the AWS MySQL database cloud source? This is a cloud source. It depends. It depends in general from a data source perspective. For this one specifically, I don't know that we have like cloud direct capabilities with it like we do with like Snowflake and other things, or like SQL Server, Azure SQL database. So if that's not supported, then yes, you have to use a gateway. The other reason why you would need to use a gateway, even if Power BI did support a cloud direct option with that, would be if you've locked it down from like a firewall or a VPC on AWS's side, then Power BI can't talk to it. And
you see how I put it in a box?
Yeah,
put it in a box.
I saw that. You were mind melded right there. So, yeah.
I was about to bit flip, man. I was about to do a bit flip.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So, Alex, just open it up to the internet. It's fine. Yeah, don't do that. So usually folks have those types of things behind a firewall or VPC or VNet. And that prevents Power BI, even so like Azure SQL database, it's in Azure, but if you've got that in a VNet, Power BI can't talk to it. So you need a gateway, or on the Azure side for that specifically, you could use the VNet gateway. Yeah, Paul, that's why I use Microsoft SQL. But like you could have the same problem there, Paul. You may need a gateway to get to it. It just depends on how you've locked it down. So,
man,
all right.
Keyboard stopped working. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, so don't ask me to do anything. I can't type. I can't do it.
All right, Patrick, if you can show us how to write that DAX function.
I cannot.
Yeah, Heidi. Yeah, the VNet gateway is still in preview. Yep. All right, let's see. Let's go on. We're bumping up against the clock here.
I've been stuck for the last 15 minutes.
All right. You could reboot your laptop. Oh no,
I don't want to reboot.
Oh,
No.
Right.
Let's just push forward.
All right. Do you advise a beginner to buy the DAX book you recommended in your past videos, or stick to online resources? So you're referring to this book, Definitive Guide to DAX. I'm gonna say
don't start with that book.
I would say, yeah, don't start with this book. So start with like the Microsoft Learn path for DAX. It's a great starting point. There's also some good intro to DAX books. I know Phil Seamark has one. Some others do as well.
Yeah, Phil book. Yeah.
Once you get a little familiar with DAX, then you start moving into this journey. So this is a great reference to have around.
Yeah.
And then also the training courses that SQL BI has on that as well is great.
Yeah.
So
You gotta have a little bit of experience.
yeah.
Before you head into that book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get one more. More.
Yeah. And Sean Mark, thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. Jay Murphy, I have a question. I recently discovered my tenant is unable to create embed codes, anonymous share to the web, which was part of the change the Power BI team implemented in 2020. So chances are the tenant setting is set to not allow embed codes, and so you've got to enable that if that's what you want. And you can enable it through specific security groups, so don't turn it on for everyone. So yeah, just be very careful with that. So
yeah, this is the way. That's right, Jason.
This is the way. All right. Woo. All right, we are at that time. Halfway through, so we are going to jump over. We still had a bunch of questions in the queue. So apologies if we didn't get to those. We do our best to get through them.
There was one that I was kind of excited about too.
Which one?
It's all right.
Which one?
I don't know. Let's move forward. I'm doing a video on it. It probably won't come out until like July or August, but because I don't have any videos in the queue for months, so you guys won't see me on videos. But that's okay. I got kicked out. I got kicked out of the queue. I got suspended. I got suspended from the cube for a little bit. So
oh my gosh, it's so dramatic.
I got suspended.
You got put in a timeout.
They put me
That's what happened.
They put me in a timeout
put in a
because
timeout.
of some language I recently used in the cube. So
wow. All right. Now everyone's like, wait, what's going on? Like, he's being dramatic. No, it's fine.
So I can't. I'm out of the cube for a little bit. So
It's like for a week. So, anyway.
I got kicked out.
Did you see Chat Master C?
What'd she say? I didn't see.
What the?
I can't open the chat thing, so I gotta wait. Oh.
Yeah. All right. So we are at the halfway mark. We are going to move over to member-only chat. So this will be for members and moderators to participate in the chat. For everyone else, you're still welcome to watch the stream and learn all the good things and enjoy the back and forth in the chat. But you won't be able to directly type into the chat. If you do have a burning question that we didn't get to, though, super chats always take priority. So you can definitely use that. Just remember to type in your question if you do the super chat so we can get to it. Oh my gosh. Oh, chat blowing up.
That's why I like
free Patrick.
If you see I won't be in the Bill thing. I'm not allowed to join the Bill show. No. I mean, I'm just kicked out. I don't know.
I even stopped your keyboard from working.
That's right. That's right.
Can't do anything. Here, I'm gonna turn off your mic now too. So no. All right, let's do this. Oh, jumping over to member only. All right. So one of the benefits of being a member at the visitor or producer tiers, you can pre-submit questions. We actually don't have any pre-submitted questions today. If you want to learn how to actually pre-submit questions, and you're at the visitor or producer tier, on the YouTube channel, go to the member tab, and there's a post there that says how to do it. Exactly, Jason. It's not like anyone watches Patrick's videos to begin with.
That's a funny.
Yeah. All right. Going first, Jason. Is there a way to turn off the new workspace look? There needs to be a color icon, helps to quickly see what to click. Also, dataset tab was nice when just concentrating on datasets. So, hang on a second. Let's go over to... Yeah. So let me jump over to my machine. So I get what you're saying about the colored icons. There is not a way to turn this off or go back to the other one. So this is the way the workspaces look. Now, in terms of if you just want to do a data set, so you have the data set tab, you can go over to the filter and just filter on specific items. So you can filter on data set. And if I just do that, then you can just see the data sets. So the filtering piece, I actually really like that capability to quickly filter down certain items. But yeah, the colored icons, if you're talking about these on the right, it's good feedback. But yep. Take advantage of the filter. Ram, thank you for becoming a member. Patrick, so Alex has a super chat. Here it is. Patrick, how can I use dynamic enquiry parameters with multi-selection? Free Patrick.
Well, Alex, I would show you. I have a video that's ready to go on this topic, but since I've been, silenced and put in timeout on the YouTube channel, I doubt anyone will ever see this video. Oh. So,
is it even on your whiteboard?
It's the demo and everything's built. I just need to record it. But since I got put in timeout, I'm just not recording anymore. What's the point?
Record it, and then it's ready to go.
You can though, Alex, and it's amazing. It's amazing, Alex. Thank you so much for helping me with that. And we're gonna show the world here in 2025 when I'm back on the YouTubes.
Gosh. Mark, thanks for the super chat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right.
I kid, everyone. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Kevin said, "Let's go to your machine." His keyboard doesn't work. He can't show you.
I can't go to the machine.
Maybe a new channel, Patrick in the Cube.
Boy, that would be a rough channel.
Do a two Alex's video and have Patrick as the guest. Oh my gosh. All right, Tom. Pressure of social media. All right. Let's go. Tom, in addition to Tabular Editor 3 and DAX Studio and maybe Bravo, would you say there are other must-have companion tools for Power BI DAX?
There's for DAX, Power BI DAX. Power BI DAX. Maybe the ALM toolkit if you want to do some incremental deployments of measures that you've created. I would say maybe the ALM toolkit.
Yeah, Chris said Management Studio, maybe. Although I wouldn't.
And then
I'd
that's
use
the
DAX
case,
Studio
SQL
before
Profile
Management Studio.
Yeah. And then if we're just talking Power BI in general, there's this hot swap one.
Paul.
What did I miss?
Paul said ChatGPT.
No, I'm not entertaining that one, Paul. I'm not entertaining
Thomas
that
says
one.
Copilot. Well, we don't have a Copilot yet.
There's a hot swap one that I use to like swap between Live Connected and make it a local model. That's a pretty good one.
It's not really a DAX
that I've
thing,
used in the past. He said Power BI. I thought he said Power BI and DAX. Oh well. Anyway.
Yeah. Chris calling out the
Sorry about
DMVs if you go the Management Studio route. That is great.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Profiler. Profiler is another one.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But they have like a library of them, and you can go
it's
and
on Power BI
install
Tips.
this.
Yeah.
Power BI Tips.
Power
Yeah.
BI
Power BI
Tips.
Tips. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of them. Yeah, if you just wanted different
Ew.
external tools. So they're not necessarily all about DAX, but you do other things.
No. I think you hit the main three, and I would add the ALM toolkit if I was trying to do some incremental deployments.
Yeah. It's manifesting. Oh, that's funny. Yep. All right. So Chris says, "What is Trident? Tell us. I can't.
I don't know.
You gotta stay tuned.
I don't know.
Gotta stay tuned.
I have no idea
Next
what that
week,
is.
tune in. Next week. I don't know anything about it. Someone make us a ChatGPT plugin for DAX. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. Pop Eater. Off topic. I'm assuming that's what OT means. Is the new thinking that one wide, tall, catch-all table is better than multiple smaller related tables? My coworker spent 30 minutes trying to convince me that multiple tables is the old way. Oh my goodness. Go for it, Patrick.
I may need to sit down.
Oh my gosh.
I may need to sit down.
Chris, your coworker is wrong.
Your coworker is wrong. Absolutely wrong. So, probably just have him write some DAX against that big wide flat table. Just say, go do some DAX for me against that big wide flat table, and you're gonna notice how that DAX is gonna get so challenging and difficult to write, as opposed to if you just had a simple star schema. So have them go do that. Have them do some refreshes against that wide flat table compared to a star schema. You'll notice that the refresh, obviously it depends on lots of other things, but if you have a really nice star schema, look at Matthew. Matthew's just going off. Matthew's going off. Matthew's going off.
All right. It's not Pop Eater's fault.
No. He's wrong. He's just wrong, Pop Eater. He should join this live stream and tell us that. He's wrong.
So I'll give you an example.
And we'll just leave it at that.
Real customer example. We were working with a customer, and it was a lift and shift from Tableau, and so Tableau likes single table extracts, and so they just wanted to do the same thing in Power BI, and so it was a 800 column wide single table. It was millions of rows, and just trying to do the refresh took a while. So it, they were complaining it was timing out, and we said, look, break that into a star schema. That thing will be really fast at that point. And we did some demos to prove it, the perf difference, and so, but yeah, don't do single wide flat table if you can avoid it. Now, I will say
the funny thing is you may go ahead. You may start with a flat table and it works, right?
Yeah.
It may, this is all fast and everything's great. As it gets taller and wider, it's gonna slow down. It's not scalable. That's the thing you gotta think about, right? You gotta future-proof your model. And
the thing I will say, and this goes to Scott's comment of it depends, maybe, is
fair enough.
Like
Scott.
our guidance is absolutely do a star schema, period, full stop. However, if you're doing a single table, and you've just got a small amount of, I know. Sorry, Matthew. I'm just keeping it real, right? If you got a small amount of data, we're not talking millions of rows, it's probably going to work fast regardless.
But it's not going to scale.
It's not going to scale. It's absolutely not going to scale.
It's not going to scale.
Absolutely.
It's not going to scale.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
So be nice to your future self and do the star schema up front.
Yep.
So
tell him that, Parvita. Go get him. Tell him.
Yeah. Jay Murphy, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate that.
Oh boy, so funny.
Yes. All right. Let's go to next one. Let's see. How can I set up aggregation table from an imported table, initial source CSV files and SharePoint folder? Oops, that ain't gonna work.
Ags aren't supported with imported
it's got to be
tables.
direct query.
I mean, you could fake it. You could fake it and do some stuff in DAX. If you're filtering at a certain level, grab the measure. Phil Seamark has some blog posts on this. If I can check to see what my filter level is, and that'll go to those ag tables. You could do some stuff like that, but then you got to see what the effect on performance is from a DAX perspective. So you could try it. It's not native, but you could try it.
Yeah. What is sorry.
If you don't learn proper lifting from when starting, oh my God, these comments are crazy.
Yeah. All right. So I see. So Jay Murphy came in with an update. So he had a question earlier. I'm gonna inject this one just to show. So we said that the tenant settings, what you're gonna need to enable the publish to web thing. So he said that from the tenant settings, the two are set in the Power BI admin portal. There are reports that were published to the workspace from prior to 2020. And so real quick, let me jump over just so we're talking about the same thing. So there is a tenant setting here called publish to web. And there's two settings here. One is it enabled, period. And then also allow existing and new codes to be used. And then you can also specify that for specific security groups, which hopefully you are doing. And so I would say if you still can't create a published web embed code, I would verify you're in the security group that's listed. Please do not do that for the entire organization. Be mindful about who you're allowing there. So the only reason I can think of why it's still not working is that you're not in the security group that's allowed to do that. If you are and you have verified that and the settings are on, you're gonna have to open up a support case. I don't know why that wouldn't be working in that case. So I would also validate, can you create a new report? Can you create a new embed code? Does that even work? And try and see. But outside of that, you're gonna have to open up a support case. So Heidi said he has a support case. What'd they say? So I mean, that support's the way to go on that, because they're gonna have to go look at some back-end telemetry also to figure out what's going on, and they haven't provided an alternative. I mean, escalate it. I don't know. They should be able to say why it's not working. So, like, that doesn't seem right to me. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. All right.
Did you say sorry to hear that?
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's a bad. Well, no, I mean, like, in terms of escalate, you can always ask to, like, ask the support engineer to like take it further. So, yeah, I don't know if they will or not. I don't know, like, who you're talking to or anything. Why is my thing not working? There we go. So, but yeah, it's a support issue at that point. There's nothing I can do to tell you why it's not working if you've got all of that set. So.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Are you stuck?
Me?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
All right, Toma. How to implement dynamic format strings on data labels.
On data labels?
On data labels.
Oh, but they're for measures. Dynamic format strings for measures. That's what I was told by the feature PM. She corrected me several times, and she said, Patrick, it's dynamic format strings for measures. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, though, with the new, I saw something on the Twitters that in the service, you can use, you can do conditional something with labels or something like that. Somebody tweeted about this. I haven't looked into it. Anyway, I'm wondering, is that what he's talking about? I wonder, is that what Tom is talking about?
Maybe. As of right now, there's not a way to do it. So
yeah, there's not a way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this down, Otoma. This is a good one. Maybe you'll see this video in 2026 when I'm allowed back.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
You're not paying attention to me.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I was paying attention to the lovely people watching the stream. It's not always about you, Patrick.
Yeah. It's always about me.
Free Patrick.
Always about me.
Yeah, so Toma said that auto settings in table label take it based on highest amount, so you end up with like 1.4 M or 0.03 M. It's interesting. Yeah.
I gotta go look though. Let me look at it, Toma. Yeah. Let me go look at this. This is interesting.
David said, thank you, Jay Murphy, for the super chat or super sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you. And I do hope the support folks get back to you. That is not cool. All right. Moving on to Mark. Gotchas with embedding Power BI app in SharePoint Online web part. Had users having issues rendering reports that I know they have appropriate permissions to. So in terms of gotchas, I mean, embedding the report in the web part, that should work. So based on the question, though, I'm assuming you're getting like what's the problem? Is it failing to load, or is it giving you a specific error message? Is it just asking you to sign in again? I do know sometimes I've seen with the SharePoint web part is sometimes you'll be asked to sign in again at least the first time, and then it works after that. That's the only thing
Alex
I can think
just said something. Alex just said something.
Yeah, so he just said what I said. Yeah, it's the issue that they have the sign-in button when they first look at it. So, yeah. Cool. They can't open in SharePoint Online and have to go to the Power BI service. What does that mean, though, when you say they can't open in SharePoint Online? What happens? What's the experience for them?
Oh, here's another one. Jason said they need, I didn't think about licensing.
Yeah, they need pro license if it's not backed by premium capacity. That is true. So free users won't be able to do it. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. The big thing is like, what is happening? Yeah, Chris, that's unknown. Like that's typically, usually you get that like the first time. Although Alex said if you sign out and back in from an office side, that should work. So, okay. Well, let us know more, Mark, on why it's not opening. Yeah, it's in premium sign-in issues. So for the sign-in issues, if you're just getting the sign-in the first time, they should be able to sign in and then get in. So if you're saying that that's not happening and it's getting in some loop of some kind, that's a problem. And I agree with Chris at that point. It'd be worth opening up a support case. So, but if it's just they sign in for the first time, that's a known thing. And so Alex mentioned, log out of Office and back in, and that should correct it. So give that a try. All right, Ram. How to display blank values for all the zeros in the table matrix visual. We know that we can make zeros to display as blanks.
Do the opposite. Whatever you're doing to make the... I mean, what's so funny? What's so funny? I'm serious, Ron. So whatever you're doing to make the zeros, make them blanks. Great blog posts out there. There's one really long one by SQL BI, how to make this performant. And so instead of displaying the blank, instead of displaying the zero, use a blank. Yeah, so Thomas, try to do it in the source, right?
Yeah.
And so if it's zero, don't put anything there, because there's a difference between zero and blank. I mean, right? There's a difference between zero
I'm saying
and
it's
blank.
not possible.
So,
I tried.
he says it's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, you could do like if zero, then blank, like return blank.
Yeah, but it's a difference between zero and blank, though.
Yeah.
And so if you're reporting zero, why would you turn the zeros to blanks? Because it's zero, not blank. Anyway, that's another thing. And so,
yes, blank is
blank
so
is
Thomas,
no.
Power Query, but like if you're doing a measure and you're doing some aggregation and it's coming back with zero, I would think zero would be a valid value in that case.
Yeah, zero is a valid value. Why do I want to change it to blank?
Because I want to do them using custom formatting. What does blank have to do with that? Yeah, I'd need to know more on the scenario. Yep. Okay.
Are they a member? Is this person a member? Or can they
everyone's a
send us
member right
sample?
now. So it depends. I don't know if
can you send us a sample?
I don't know if he's a visitor or producer though. So
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Is he at the right tier? If you're at the right tier, can you send us a sample and more details?
Need to know more about the scenario and everything else. So
yeah, if you could send us more, we could look at it.
Yep. All right, Ramesh. What is some of the best Power App integrations you have seen in Power BI? Let select users enter commentary right back to source for qualitative metrics. So that's one thing that I've seen is just allowing commentary, and/or Patrick had a great example too. So go ahead, Patrick.
That was a long time ago. I can't tell you who I was working with, but we were trying to do a radial search, and Phil Seamark wrote this gnarly DAX that would actually calculate like the radial distance, and we use that, and it could take a point like a postal code or something like that and determine the radius. And so we would do some inputting, and then you could find out. It would show you all using the Power App. You provide some input, and then it would give you all the stores in a certain, or all the facilities in a certain radial circle. It was pretty good. That was the coolest one.
Yep.
I think we even did some sessions we did some sessions on.
It was a while back.
Yeah, Power BI and Power Apps together. I think we did that past Summit. There's probably a recording somewhere out there on the web. I don't know.
So, but yeah, so I'm curious too. Pop Eater said no writing from Power BI. Stop it. Like, I'm curious why you think that. I think there's valid scenarios for doing that. So you can actually do some interesting like app integrations through that too. Like even if Power BI is embedded in your application and there's a Power App in there, like you can do some cool things.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right. Let's see here. Moving on. Okay, can I set up row level security in a field parameter table that I made with measures in order the users to select what they want to see in the report?
They want to control the measures they could see. They want to control the measures they could see. You should do column level
Object level
security.
Object
Level security. You should do object level security, and that'll, if the measure references one of those objects they shouldn't have access to, then the measure won't show up. Got a video on it somewhere that explains how to do that.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's go back to, so Jay Murphy had a new question. I saw Matthew answered it too. So question in the group, does anyone know of PowerShell scripts that would read the appropriate Power BI service sharing and also allow it to be set correctly? And so Matthew answered this as well. Yeah, there's no APIs for the tenant stuff today. So ideas.powerbi.com, if that's something that you want, get the feedback back in. And then Matthew, thank you so much for being here. Talk to you next week.
And all the great commentary, Matthew.
Yes.
And all the great commentary. Yeah, it's great.
All right, Ram, can I share the dashboard created in premium per user license with a pro user? I've tried and it says the other user needs to upgrade to PPU. That is true. For any content created with in a premium per user workspace requires the consumer to also have premium per user. So this is the way. That is it. All right. We cleared the queue.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. We cleared the queue. Okay.
So there was a question way back in the member, and they asked about why should you use Jupyter Notebooks with Power BI? Yeah, and so I've been working on the demo and getting everything done. Hopefully that video will come out sometime soon. But if you think about people that work, in Jupyter Notebooks and Python and all that kind of stuff, you can actually connect and it'll auto-generate a report for you. And once it auto-generates that report, you can actually edit that report and save it in your notebook, or you can manually upload that report to Power BI. So basically, I'm working in an environment that I'm familiar with. So I'm already writing Python and everything, and now I want to do some Power BI stuff. Instead of switching to Power BI Desktop or switching to the Power BI Surface, I can do all of it right in my notebook and then get it saved up to the Surface, or just save it directly in my notebook and interact with it right there. So it gives you, I don't have to switch, and so I can just stay right there. There's some other things that'll be coming out with that soon, but this is just the beginning of the journey. So.
All right. So Toma had one last minute question there. I saw it come in.
Paul just posted a question too.
All right. How to rename hierarchy fields for visuals per visual level.
Oh, so when I add them to the field wheel, you can't just double click them and rename them, Toma? Then I don't know. I have no idea. I can't type on my
that's
computer.
One of the.
Otherwise, I would test it.
So the thing I've seen people do in that case is they add the fields manually and not the actual hierarchy, and then you can rename the fields that way. But you just have them stacked in the field well.
You can't do that.
So avoid the hierarchy and drag them in individually, and then you can do it that way.
Okay. Crystal said she added 2 more. You didn't clear the queue, buddy.
Well, I know. I was clear at the time. So, all right, Paul. How can I effectively match 1,000+ daily dialed numbers in a fact table with FCC spam numbers in a database using Power BI service? Is SQL more efficient than Power Query, Python?
Yes.
Yes.
SQL.
Yes, SQL. Do it in SQL.
Yeah,
please.
Do it in SQL.
Always do it as far upstream as possible. So.
I mean, technically, if you're doing it in Python, it depends on where you're landing the data and where Power BI is connecting to the data. So that is pretty far upstream too. So and we had a great conversation with Marco about SQL and Python and stuff like that. And so if you know SQL, use SQL. If you know Python, use Python.
Yep.
And then Power Query would be my next step if I couldn't do it in either one of those.
Yep. All right, one last one. This will be the last one. New BI. Wish to toggle between two views on a matrix. Both will have a different conditional format rule set up for the cell values. Bookmarks not sticking. How to make that work? Oh, yeah, there are some limitations to bookmarks. Like certain things, bookmarks won't carry over.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
So conditional formatting doesn't stick?
There's some. I don't know what all the limitations are specifically, but I do know there are some settings on certain visuals that won't get tracked, which is unfortunate. I don't know if this. I'm assuming this is one of them, as New BI is calling it out.
I did not know this. I did not know this.
Yeah. So outside of bookmarks, I don't know. The only other way I could think of doing it is do like page navigation. You have two different pages.
Yeah.
That gets a little janky.
Because if you have those pages, when you click the button, you can have the page the button navigate to another page.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Well, so one thing I'd be curious of playing with is from the bookmark perspective. So I would think of having two separate visuals there, and then the bookmark hiding the two. So
yeah.
I'd be curious if that's what you tried and that didn't work.
Well, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I would think that too. So, but outside of that, I don't necessarily have a great answer for you on that. Outside of like doing separate pages and trying that. But like I said, that's a little janky. So, all right, that brings us to the end. Appreciate it, everyone. Thank you for being here. Patrick, any words of wisdom?
So, my daughter's graduating this week, and I contemplated trying to mix work in with all the festivities that are going on, and I decided, and Crystal said this in the chat, that my family's going to take priority over all the work. And so that's why you won't see me at all probably next week, because family first, right?
Yeah,
family first. I'm just going to have so many people at my house, and I probably could maneuver it and do it, but I'm not. So see you guys soon, somewhere soon.
Yeah, we will have a live stream Wednesday night at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So Jason and John from the BI Focal podcast will be joining us, as well as Stephanie Bruno. So come check that out. We'll just be laid back stream, just talking about the announcements at Build and going from there. So hope you can join us for that. Patrick won't be there, but that's all good. He's got the family going, and then my family stuff starts up Thursday night. So good times. All right, everyone. And Toma, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. And everyone else, have a great rest of your weekend, and tune in to Build. It'll be amazing.
You got a link, Adam? You got a link? You got a link? You got a link?
Oh, my gosh. You're so on top of things. There you go.
I thought you were posting it. I thought that's where you're going. That's where you're going.
No. Anyway. Yep. So Build 2023, tune in, and then come check out the YouTubes after. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you. Bye.
Rise like the sun, boy.